The first time I saw her wearing my shirt, my heart didn't just skip a beat, it stopped completely. It was a plain white shirt. Nothing special, slightly wrinkled at the sleeves, a faint coffee stain near the cuff that I had never managed to wash out. And yet there she was in my CEO, standing at the glass wall of the boardroom, commanding the entire room with confidence, authority, and power, wearing my shirt. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating. Before we go further, take a second. If stories that hit deep and feel real are your thing, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Stories Beyond the Porch. Your support keeps these stories alive. I wasn't supposed to be there that morning. As a junior data analyst, my job usually involved sitting quietly behind a screen, crunching numbers, avoiding attention, and going unnoticed. That was my comfort zone. That was my safety. But that day, my manager had called in sick, and somehow his responsibilities had fallen on me, including attending a high-level meeting I had no business being part of. I remember standing outside the boardroom, fixing my collar, trying to steady my breathing. My life had always been a series of small steps, careful decisions, and silent struggles. I wasn't someone who took risks. I wasn't someone who stood out. But that day, something felt different. When I finally pushed the glass door open, the room went quiet for a second. Not because of me, no one ever noticed me, but because she had just walked in from the other side. Our CEO, she was known across the company as a force of nature. Brilliant, ruthless, untouchable, people spoke her name with respect and a little fear. She built the company from the ground up, turned it into something massive, something powerful. No one knew much about her personal life. She was a mystery wrapped in authority, and yet there she was, wearing my shirt. I froze near the door, my mind racing. It wasn't just similar, it was mine. I recognized the tiny tear near the inner seam, the uneven button I had replaced myself. My chest tightened. How was that even possible? I sat down quietly, trying not to draw attention, but my eyes kept drifting back to her. She didn't seem uncomfortable. She didn't seem out of place. In fact, she wore it like it belonged to her, like it always had. The meeting went on, numbers were discussed, strategies debated, but I heard nothing. My thoughts were tangled in confusion, curiosity, and something else I couldn't quite name. After the meeting ended, people started leaving one by one. I stayed seated, my hands clenched together, debating whether I should just forget it and walk away. But something inside me refused to let it go. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was the strange pull I felt. Or maybe it was the first time in my life I decided not to stay silent. I stood up and walked toward her. Each step felt heavier than the last. She was gathering her files when I finally spoke. My voice came out quieter than I expected, almost unsure of itself. I asked her why she was wearing my shirt. The moment the words left my mouth, I regretted them. Who was I to question her? I was no one, just another employee in a sea of faces. But she didn't react the way I expected. She didn't get angry. She didn't dismiss me. She just looked at me, and in that moment, something shifted. Her expression softened, just slightly. Not enough for anyone else to notice, but enough for me to feel it. She took a slow breath, as if deciding whether to say something she had kept buried for a long time. And then she replied. Her answer didn't just leave me speechless, it shattered everything I thought I knew. She told me that she knew exactly whose shirt it was. She told me she hadn't worn it by accident. She told me she had been looking for me. My mind struggled to process her words. Nothing made sense. Why would someone like her, powerful, distant, unreachable, be looking for someone like me? She walked past me, signaling me to follow. I did. We ended up in her office, a space that reflected everything she was, clean, sharp, controlled. But there was something else there too, something human, something hidden beneath the surface. She sat down and looked at me again, this time not as a CEO looking at an employee, but as someone trying to recognize a memory. She told me about a night I had almost forgotten. It had been months ago. Rain pouring down like the sky had broken open. I was walking home late, tired after a long day, when I saw someone sitting on the sidewalk, a woman. She looked lost, broken, not the kind of person you'd expect to see in that condition. I remembered hesitating. People like me don't usually get involved. We walk past. We keep our heads down, but that night I didn't. I approached her, offered help, and when she couldn't even speak properly, I gave her my jacket and later, my shirt when hers was soaked and torn. I didn't ask who she was. I didn't expect anything in return. I just helped, then I left. I never thought about it again. Until now, she told me that woman was her. That night had been the lowest point of her life. A betrayal. A loss, something that had shaken her to her core. For the first time in years, she had felt helpless, human. And in that moment, a stranger, me, had shown her kindness without knowing who she was. No expectations. No hidden motives, just kindness. She said she never forgot that. She said she kept the shirt not because it was valuable, but because it reminded her of something she had almost lost, her faith in people. And then she said something that hit me deeper than anything else. She said that in a world where everyone wanted something from her, I was the only one who gave something without asking for anything in return. That's why she had been looking for me. That's why she wore the shirt. Not as a coincidence, but as a reminder. In that moment, everything changed. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. For the first time, someone saw me, truly saw me. The days that followed were different. Not because my job changed overnight, or because I suddenly became someone important, but because something inside me shifted. I started speaking up, taking chances, believing that maybe, just maybe, I mattered more than I thought. And she changed too. Not in the way the world saw her. She was still strong, still powerful, but in the quiet moments. The way she listened more, the way she paused before making decisions, the way she smiled, just a little, when no one was looking. We didn't become something dramatic or unrealistic, but we became something real, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness can echo in ways we never imagine. A reminder that sometimes the people we think are the strongest are the ones who needed kindness the most. And a reminder that our smallest moments can become someone else's turning point. If this story touched your heart even a little, take a moment. Like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Stories Beyond the Porch, so we can keep bringing you stories that matter. And before you go, I want to ask you something special. Have you ever done something small that changed someone's life in a way you never expected? Or has someone done that for you? Comment below and share your story. You never know, your experience might become the light someone else needs today.